Chicago Med fans won't need to worry about these two actors leaving the show in season 11. Multiple One Chicago cast members have signed new deals, and two are from Chicago Med. It's always nerve-wracking getting to the end of a season of Chicago Med. This is the time when some actors look at leaving, or when the creatives behind the show decide it's time to get a little too fancy with their storylines. However, there's some great news for fans of two particular characters in the One Chicago series. Multiple One Chicago actors have signed new contracts as their current ones came to an end during the 2024 to 2025 TV season. It's not unusual at this point for different actors to have different time frames within their contracts, especially after a show has been on the air for 10 seasons. Deadline reports that both Asa Patha-Murkerson and Oliver Platt will return for Chicago Med Season 11. They play Sharon Goodwin and Daniel Charles, and they have been with the series since the very beginning. Considering some of the darker and harder storylines the two have been through these last couple of seasons, it's not surprising that fans were worried one or both might end up leaving. The two did ink multi-year deals last year, but that still means their options had to be picked up for the upcoming season. That's happened, along with Chicago PD's Jason Begg. There is no word on if anyone else is leaving at this point, but having these two OG characters around will certainly make things a lot easier. Right now, we have Goodwin handling her PTSD after her attack at the end of Chicago Med Season 9. While Charles has had to deal with some of his past involving his daughters. There is some bad news that comes with the deal. As previously mentioned, when the One Chicago shows were renewed, some cost-cutting measures were put in place. The easiest way to reduce the cost of production is to reduce the episode count for the season, and that's exactly what has happened. Initially, there were thoughts that the episode count would drop to between 18 and 20 episodes, but that's not the case. We're just losing one episode for the upcoming season, so Chicago Med Season 11 will have 21 episodes. The other two One Chicago shows have been cut by the same amount, so the three shows will continue to be able to dominate Wednesday nights on broadcast together. For fans of Chicago Med, change has become a kind of constant. The show, a key piece of NBC's One Chicago universe, has gone through its fair share of dramatic exits, surprising returns, and dramatic character deaths. From Dr. Ava Becker's shock departure to Dr. Ethan Choi's dramatic goodbye, it's hard not to watch each episode wondering, who's going to leave next? But this time, we have some good news. There are two key members of the Chicago Med family who aren't going anywhere, much to the relief of fans who have grown attached to their stories. Who are these two staying players? The two actors we're talking about are Marlene Barrett, who plays Maggie Lockwood, and Asa Patha-Murkerson, who plays Sharon Goodwin. Both have become the beating heart of Chicago Med, delivering powerful, rich, and authentic performances that anchor the hectic world of Gaffney Chicago Medical Center. Marlene Barrett as Maggie Lockwood, the nurse who holds it all together. From the very first episode of Chicago Med, Maggie Lockwood has been a force to be reckoned with. She's the head charge nurse, the person who knows everyone's schedules, patient histories, and, perhaps most of all, their stories. Fans fell in love with Maggie not just because of her expertise and ability to keep a bustling emergency department running smoothly, but because of her compassion and deep loyalty to her colleagues. Maggie has dealt with her own health battles, battling and beating cancer, and through it all remained the soul of the department. Some fans were worried Marlene Barrett might opt to move on after her health struggles or pursue roles outside the show. But we can put those worries to rest. Marlene has made it clear she's staying on, eager to continue exploring Maggie's rich, multi-layered story. I feel a deep connection to Maggie and her struggles, her triumphs, and her ability to lift everyone up, even when she's battling her own health issues. Marlene said in a recent interview, "I'm excited for what's to come for Maggie, and for me as an actor." This confirmation is a huge relief for fans who view Maggie not just as a character, but as a symbol of Murkerson, a veteran actor who plays Sharon Goodwin, the hospital's chief administrator. Goodwin is a character who exudes maturity, fairness, and resolve. She's a leader who isn't afraid to make tough decisions, but always with compassion at the center of her choices. For years, Goodwin has kept the hospital's politics, egos, and financial pressures in check, serving as a moral compass when the team strays from its path. Fans appreciate her role as a strong Black woman in a position of power, someone who gracefully advocates for her doctors and nurses while battling her own doubts and pressures. Some rumors circulated last season about Esapatha possibly departing Chicago Med, prompting nervous messages across social media from fans who view Goodwin as irreplaceable. But rest assured, Murkerson is staying with the show. It feels like home here. Goodwin is a character I love. There's much more to explore in her story, her relationships, her choices, the battles she's going to face. And I'm excited to bring all of that to the screen in future episodes. For a show that frequently evolves and drops shock exits, this stability is a huge win for fans who appreciate the rich character development that comes from having mainstays who grow alongside their roles. The impact of their presence on the series. Having Marlene Barrett and Esapatha Murkerson stay means Chicago Med will retain its strong, dramatic center. Both Maggie and Goodwin act as anchors for the rest of the cast, the kind of people the younger doctors and nurses look up to, rely upon, and sometimes challenge. This stability lets the writers pursue storylines that delve into Maggie's health journey. We've already gotten a deep, intimate view into Maggie's battle with cancer and recovery. Now we can see her find her feet again, mentoring younger nurses, wrestling with vulnerability, and honoring her passion for patient care. Goodwin's role in hospital politics. Goodwin's decisions affect not just her department, but the future of Gaffney itself. With her staying, we can expect more dramatic storylines about hospital funding, policy disputes, and the human cost of healthcare decisions, all anchored by Murkerson's powerful performance. Fans celebrate the news. Across social media, fans were excited to hear the two were staying. Relieved we're not losing Maggie and Goodwin. The show honestly wouldn't be the same without them. Tweeted at Chicago Fan Life. It's a huge win for the future of the series. So much more story left to tell for these two. It feels like a promise that we're not going to lose the soul of the show, the people who hold everyone together. Looking forward, what's next for Maggie and Goodwin? With their futures secured, we can expect Chicago Med to further explore Maggie's recovery and renewal. Will her health struggles affect her ability to lead her team in the future, or will it make her more compassionate, more formidable? Goodwin's battles against hospital politics. Will her role become more precarious if a hospital board decides it's time for a change in leadership? Deepening relationships. Both women have rich relationships with their colleagues, from friendships to mentoring roles, and we may see those grow and evolve in future episodes. Final thoughts: why it matters. For fans, the knowledge that Marlene Barrett and Esapatha Murkerson aren't going anywhere is more than just casting news. It's a vow that the soul of Chicago Med is staying put. In a world where character exits sometimes come suddenly and without much closure, this kind of stability is a rare and comforting thing. It means we will get to watch Maggie and Goodwin continue their journeys, face new struggles, celebrate victories, and provide the kind of powerful, dramatic stories that made us all fall in love with the show in the first place. So rest easy, Chicago Med fans. Marlene Barrett and Esapatha Murkerson are here to stay. As we move forward into future seasons, we can count on these two remarkable women to remain at the center of the action, guiding, protecting, and shaping the future of Gaffney Chicago Medical Center.